What is good, y'all? Mikey T, the movie star here, and I've been covering Jim Jones and Pusha T for the last few days since Pusha T had actually been called out by Jim Jones over the top 50 list. Pusha T responded at the Louis Vuitton show by Pharrell. And then Jim Jones was prompt in his response, doing an actual street video in Harlem and actually responding in full. So I was starting to wonder, with the mention of No Malice, formerly Malice, excuse me, I was wondering, when would Cam'ron be jumping into this thing? A lot of people were like, yo, Mikey T, you're bugging. Mikey T, Cam'ron's not going to get involved with this thing. Other people were saying Cam'ron and Jim Jones haven't actually been rapping together for quite some time now. Now, the only reason I included the addition of Cam'ron was because of the interest factor that it would have garnered for Jim Jones. A lot of people were looking at this like, yo, Jim Jones isn't going to be able to touch Pusha T when it comes to a bar for bar type of battle. My opinion, if Jim Jones were to involve Cam'ron, whereas Pusha T may involve Malice, it would be a much bigger thing for Jim Jones. It would make Jim Jones would look much bigger within the involvement of Cam'ron and probably seal the deal and win this whole battle. Well, right now, we're all looking at it like it's an uphill battle for Jim Jones. There's no way Jim Jones can defeat Pusha T. With the addition of Cam'ron, his fate would have been sealed. But Cam has actually spoken out now. A lot of people were wondering how Cam'ron would feel about this. Jadakiss apparently spoke out and said he thought it was a bit of a mismatch. He didn't like the idea of Pusha T and Jim Jones. That's apparently what Kiss was talking. But Mr. Cam'ron actually spoke on this on the gram. So we're going to get into that now because I inadvertently predicted his involvement. I think he's shutting it down here, though, you guys. Cam'ron said, nah, Push. Me and Capo definitely don't be on the same page all the time, but I don't go against the family. Parentheses, Harlem. Don't use no old problems we had to try and win a battle. Get in that booth. You nice, but Jim Jones got you on the ropes, and you ain't rope-a-doping. And I don't care if y'all put me in y'all bars. I quit. I do sports. So it looks like my idea of Cam'ron actually joining Jim Jones on a duet diss track is not going to happen. Cam'ron is way too involved with his new sports show with Mace. It's taken off. It's going crazy. There's always a viral moment from each and every episode that they've done thus far. So Cam, when you step back from the music industry, a lot of people were thinking you was wilding out, but Cam'ron has continued to make consistent plays that have kept his business rolling. Never mind his name in the media, his business rolling. Another thing he said here, don't involve me. Don't try to use my past issues with Jim Jones to make your beef look better. That's kind of what Pusha T does. This is the guy who, what did he call out Drake for being signed to a guy that was signed to another guy? That was signed to another guy? You know what I mean? Pusha T is going to take multiple shots about the fact that Jim Jones came up as Cam'ron's hype man. The fact that he came up and started with an independent label. That could be considered a shot if you want. You know what I mean? The fact that Jim Jones wasn't able to command a major deal for his first recordings. Jim Jones went on to make an independent major. So I don't know really what Pusha T is gonna do there. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna have to come with another. He's gonna have to come on another lane to actually diss Jim Jones there. Talking about how maybe Jim Jones started working with 50 Cent during the beef with Dipset and G-Unit. Possibly this is what Cam'ron could be alluding to. There was a lot of dissension within Dipset right after Jim Jones took off. Jim Jones had created Bird Gang, but that really wasn't to compete with Dipset. All the Dipset leaders were creating their own sets. Skull Gang for Joel Santana, 730 for Freaky Zeke. So I just wanted to address that as well. Some of the problems that people look at Jim Jones and Cam'ron as though they had. Now, Cam'ron made another assessment about this battle. I'm going to hesitate to call it a beef. I'm going to hesitate to say Cam'ron is jumping into the beef here. But he's making another assessment on the battle. He said, you nice, but Jim Jones got you on the ropes, and you ain't rope-a-doping. So a lot of people are looking at it like, yo, we got to wait for Pusha T to release the full track. Jim Jones released a freestyle and a half on it. Jim Jones went hard on that joint. Jim Jones called out Malice in a way that I've never heard him called out thus far. You know, he said, what happened to that boy? Basically flipping his own bar on him. So Cam'ron is rocking with his homie. And, you know, Cam'ron would not go against his homie either. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's some real shit. I got to show respect to Cam'ron for that. Although I never expected there to be some type of a, you know what I mean, trade up. I never really expected there to be some type of a trade up here with like some J Hood shit going to ride for G Unit against D Block. I would have never expected somebody like Cam'ron to show up riding for Pusha T. I mean, even though you did have Jim Jones show up on BET Rap City one time with 50 Cent. But hey, like I said, you guys, Jim Jones actually did not have a major deal when he first got started. He started off with Koch. He turned Koch into what a lot of artists consider a major deal. So he was entertaining the idea of possibly doing something with Curtis, Interscope, Jackson. Note, Interscope. Note, Interscope, you guys. Cam'ron said to the man, if Koch is a graveyard, why did you send your homie there? In relation to when 50 Cent released Prodigy to release music outside of G Unit and take on a deal to do Return of the Mac and HNIC 2. Both great albums, in my opinion. I really loved a lot of the Prodigy work that came later on, his solo material, man. But yeah, man, so this is the next piece of the Jim Jones and Pusha T saga. Basically, Cam'ron is pushing Pusha T to do something. Jim Jones got you on the ropes, Pusha T. That's how some people are looking at it, because a lot of people were like, oh, Jim Jones ain't going to be able to touch those bars from Pusha T. Well, look what Jimmy did. Look what Jimmy did, and he didn't pull no Meek Mill and Drake. He didn't make you wait for it. A lot of people saying Jim Jones doesn't have it when it comes to the bars. Well, he got his bars together for that one, and he got a lot of different themes together for his record. So we're going to have to see what happens, man. Everybody drop a comment. Let me know what you think about Cam'ron saying he's staying out of this. He's doing sports now. He said he doesn't go against his family. So we're not going to see Cam'ron showing up on the stage, supporting Pusha T and Clipse, you know, making Jim Jones look crazy. That's just not going to happen, man. That's not really it's not a Harlem thing. But I appreciate everybody tapping in today. Mikey T, the movie star. Be sure to like this video, comment on the video, shoot me a follow on Instagram. I will follow you back.